Здравейте, здравейте, момци и моми! Аз съм GMR, а това е епизод 30 от поредицата ми на The Outer Worlds. Може би върху лицето ми е излезнал текста, че записвам, който се извинявам предварително, ако е така. Сега продължавам от там, където свършихме, което не ми беше никак лесно да си спомня къде е. Може би ден след като записах 21 или беше ли 22 епизод, който реално го записах след като съм свършил играта, забелязах, че има още един прецакан. И така, и сега го записвам и него. Спираме тук всичко, което ни трябва. Сега го записваме него. Да изпълняваме главната задача, да някой трябваше да дадем на Санджар или на... Как му имаше другото име? Как беше другия пича? Санджар или Грам. На един от двамата трябва да дадем модула от кораба, който падна. Сега, ще отидем при Грам, да видим какви са неговите мисли.
The body returns to the universe from whence it came. I'm sure you've seen a corpse in the various stages of decay.
Why do we exist in the first place then? What the hell's the point?
Our lives contribute to the betterment of the human race. Everyone has a part to play for the greater advancement.
I ain't got a part. Life ain't a damn cereal.
You helped people survive the Monarch evacuation, did you not? Perhaps one of them will go on to unlock godhood for the human race.
Well, if they do, I hope they remember who pulled them from the jaws of raptidons.
Така...
Captain,
Опа.
we should chat. Graham's got the right idea, but he isn't the right guy to execute it. I don't even think he's motivated by philosophism anymore. I think he's just guilt-ridden.
Let's be frank here. He's an unhinged charlatan.
You're not wrong, but get the hell off your high horse, preacher. This ain't exactly easy for me. I can't believe I'm even saying this, but I keep going over and over it in my head, and the only way I see the iconoclast surviving is we depose him.
Айде ходим да говорим с него. I'm with you here. I'm with you there. Let's go talk to him.
Okay. Deep breaths. This is what's best, Zora. Time to save Monarch.
Ако може да се тръгне такова, защото е малко нещастник в принцип.
We need to talk.
We have work to do. This isn't the time for one of our spats.
I'm sorry, Graham, but Zora's taking over.
What? Zora?
You're running the iconoclast into the ground, and I don't believe it'll get better after we take Stellar Bay. The troops take orders from me already, and you've brought me as far as you can down the eternal path. It's time to step down.
The troops? Listen to you. This isn't an army. They aren't soldiers. They're believers. Followers. They pick up a gun because you tell them to, not because they want to. And you, Captain, after all you've done for me, for us, you throw behind this mutinous blasphemer?
You're about to take... Не. I do. She's got the best interest of the iconoclasts at heart.
I built this movement from the ground up. I've brought freedom to Monarch, and all these years later, we're still free.
I joined because I believed that you were in it for the iconoclasts. That you wanted nothing more than to bring freedom to Halcyon. That you were selfless. But I know the truth now, Graham. I know what happened in Amber Heights. You didn't start this movement because you wanted to save us. You wanted to save yourself.
No.
Those debts are on your hands, Ram. No amount of meditation will clean them.
I've spent years atoning for my sins. I've studied, meditated, taught. I built the iconoclasts so that any man could cast away his past for a fresh start.
That's your answer, Graham? You needed a fresh start? After all those innocent lives? I'm sorry. I believed in you once. I did. But it's over. Stand down.
I won't. What happened back then was a mistake, and the colony has moved on. This is my movement. These are my people. If you want to lead them, you'll have to kill me.
That isn't necessary.
Please. Don't make me do this, Graham.
If this is where my path ends, I accept it. But as long as I draw breath, I will not abandon them.
So be it.
Incoming!
Не, аз не искам да го убиваме. Ще ми се да се опитам да избегна тази част.
Captain, Graham,
Let's be.
you're not.
I'm not going to get
It has
down.
to-
I'm going to need some time to decide.
I get it. This is a tough decision. I won't act without you, but we're out of time. Once you give us that targeting module, I gotta prepare to march.
Така, сега отивам да говорим с Грам. Изпълнявам стъпките
The
точно
gunship. Have you secured its targeting module?
както ги изпълнявах и преди. What do you plan to do with
Mount its
it?
guns to our walls or the walls of Stellar Bay. The board is coming, Captain, and these weapons will defend us from their blasphemies.
I suppose you won't have to worry about the Raptidons anymore either. Логично.
Yes. My, how we've grown. From one disgruntled employee and his like-minded compatriots to the very movement you see before you.
I know you're responsible for Amber Heights massacre.
When I founded the Iconoclasts, I did so amidst the ghosts of this planet's past. Since then, many have asked me, why here? Were you involved in the massacre? Was that some gruesome plot to clear a path for my dreams? My response to you is the same as to all others. The death of MSI was an incidental tragedy. I'd have walked this path with or without it.
I don't buy it. They were going to leave the planet, but you killed them anyway.
I did no such thing. Their deaths came in the night while I slept in Stellar Bay. And regardless, we're discussing a past long since left behind. Those ghosts still haunt me. But they needn't curse my people. When the entire colony has embraced our truth, perhaps then the perpetrator will come into the light. Until then, it does us no good to dwell on past mistakes.
Да. Why though? Why did they deserve that?
If I were the type of man to make that decision, and I assure you I am not, I'd have to be so obsessed with dismantling their regime that I'd turn to desperate measures. I have since learned that their mistakes will end them in time and that we will persevere where they do not. But back then, suffocating under that oppressive culture, I can understand a lesser man than myself making a terrible, ghastly mistake.
Chemical massacre, ghastly mistake is putting a bit mildly.
Would you prefer I spend my days wallowing in misery and desperately seeking forgiveness for sins long past? I have people to lead, a home to keep. Here, without the shackles of the Halcyon Board, we are free to grow as the universe intended. Had we fled with MSI, our spirits would have withered. You've seen that withering yourself. The colony is dying. The massacre of Ember Heights, unfortunate as it was, presented the slim possibility of saving the souls of Terra 2. Here we are, poised to do just that.
You can play judge, jury, and executioner just like that.
Free will is a double-edged
Executioner.
sword, Captain. The universe judges us all. Whether your choices are helpful or harmful to the cosmos is not up to you. Those executives were found to be poisonous to the spirit of humanity. They were doomed, whether by the hands of man or beast, their time was coming to an end. And here I am, a paragon of the eternal truth, leading a society of like-minded people. The universe has found me worthy, despite whatever sins you believe I've committed. Let us speak no more of this, Captain. We have a message to spread and a colony to save. The gunship. Have you secured its targeting module?
Before we get to that, I want to know something.
All right.
What's your story?
Before all this, I was a writer for MSI's product catalog. It was my purpose to spread awareness of Saltuna in its various forms. The certainty with which I spun among the other cogs in their machine stifled creativity and personal growth.
What made you see the Eternal White?
That came much later, after Sanjar had taken over. As he drifted closer to the corporate regime, I drifted further from it. I'd known a little about philosophism on the fringes of society, and as I learned more, I found that I was already on the path without even knowing. The freedom it teaches is the same freedom that I desire.
Never mind.
The gunship. Have you secured its targeting module?
Nope, not yet. Така, сега отиваме да поговорим с Санджар. Ще имаме на резюмка с Санджачо. Сега ще направя една много яка вратка, която минали път успяхме да направим. Продължаваме с тия мадами. Това кръче няма да ми трябва. Очевидно. Така, quick сейваме. За всеки случай.
If the iconoclasts reach that ship first, there won't be any chance for a peaceful monarch. I don't suppose you've found the targeting module yet. I've sent patrols, but they're running into trouble with the iconoclasts.
Why do you need the targeting model?
Well, because the module controls the weapons systems.
I mean, why do you need the gunship weapon system?
Because once we mount them on Stellar Bay's walls, no Marauder or Raptidon will ever be a threat to us again. Stellar Bay will be as secure as any other settlement in Halcyon.
That's where to go?
The point is, this weapon system would be a powerful advantage, and we can't risk the Iconoclast getting it.
I don't see how UDO is going to let you keep their toys.
The board's own Salvage and Recovery Clause 32B would say differently.
And they won't dare challenge us over this. Not after the data you found on their experiments here.
What's so bad about the Iconoclasts reach the gunship?
Can you imagine what those maniacs would do with weapons like that? They'd wreak havoc.
And roll back all the progress we've made at reconciling with the rest of Halcyon.
You don't know that?
Oh, I've known their ilk long enough. Even if they merely sat on the scraps, the threat of a bunch of anarchists holding a gunship would bring the full wrath of the board down on Monarch. We can't afford that. Threaten the system's order and you call down the wrath of the universe. Or in this case, the board's. Which in this colony is pretty much the same thing. Ah, you see our quandary then.
Okay. Seems like your people should be able to handle this.
Look, Celia, he's being funny again.
I don't think so, sir.
Really? Well, I could have sworn. Well, that's not important. What is important is that there's a considerable distance between us and that ship, and most of it is inhabited by Marauders and Raptidons.
Enough about the gunship.
Good, because we haven't a moment to lose.
Така. According to the gunship folks, they suffered some kind of malfunction.
That's surprising. The board's equipment is usually in top shape. After all, they have first access to any fresh parts or components. Agreed. This is mysterious, to say the least.
Everyone gets
If there's
careless.
anyone I wouldn't expect a slip like this from, it's UDL.
Така. Could you agree to a truce with the Iconoclasts?
They're all mad. And what's more, they left us. I don't see any way for us to work together.
I've read your reviews, Sanjar. You can do this alone.
Not this again.
Remember what we practiced, sir.
Yes. The words in those reviews were very hurtful, but they do not define me. I am a mantipillar, and my will is my cocoon. I can emerge and become whatever I wish.
You're good with details, but you can use someone who sees the big picture.
You too?
He has a point, sir. And it's not all bad.
Supposing you're right, who exactly would you have me work with? The Iconoclasts are not the most compromising sorts.
How did you things get so bad between you and the Iconoclasts?
How do these things ever start? Once upon a time, Graham and I saw the same problems with MSI. A rigid corporate structure with no regard for its people. But, where I wanted to reform MSI, he only wanted to take it apart. As if starving in the wilderness is somehow better than starving under corporate mismanagement. He won't hear reason now, and I wouldn't trust him again.
Добре. What about Graham's second in command, Zora?
That's an interesting suggestion. I confess I don't know much about her except that she worked for Rizzo.
There ain't a body on this planet that can keep a group patched up like she has. I don't know how she does it.
I'd be willing to consider it, but I need to see her review first.
Are you serious?
One can't be haphazard about these things. Besides, if you think her skills will complement mine, then we should see what those skills are.
Fine.
Excellent. Her review would be in the Rizzo offices in Cascadia. Bring it to me, and I'll see if she's qualified.
Така. Сега отиваме към... Не. Това са компаньоните.
So may trip over that, right?
Отиваме към Каскадия. Това къде ще трябва да е? Ето тук. Има да изявим на нея ревюто, той да го прочете и за да можем да сключим съюз между MSI и Iconoclasts. Така направихме миналия път и като че ли може би най-добрият резултат. Въпреки че си призная, Грам ми е симпатяга, не ми се ще да му се случва това, което ще му се случи, но какво да се прави? Този тип игри са така. Трябва да се взимат решения. Вземи демидж, бате. Ти що си тука, а не Ниок? Така да не Ниок, Първати. Малко съм поотвикнал на контролите. Това е нормално. Тук нещо да правя. Оп, ще ви прекарам набързо през документацията. Оп, тук като че ли има скролинг надолу, да. Пак ме сърби носа, Така... Събираме тук, каквото има да събираме. Пръснахме. Къде трябва да е това са? Добре. Пак видях, че не можем да го отворим сейфче, за жалост. Няма да продаваме. Тази врата не можем да отворим. Тук не можем да отворим. Това не ни трябва. Казахме, че няма да продаваме. Оп. Аз че има покрива. Тук на покрива има ли нещо интересно? Как има една приказка маке. Нуцки. Няма нищо, добре. А сега се върне при Саджар. Саджариньо. На времето как се че 26 минути и аз мисля, че ще мога мина това за 15 минути. Бързо, не.
Between you and me, preacher, I don't think we can trust Sam.
On that point, we're in agreement.
I keep catching that bucket of bolts around my room. It says it's cleaning up bottles, but I ain't buying it.
You think you could be a bored spy?
Oh, fuck. You could be onto something. I'll tell you this much. If it tries to sell me another void-forsaken cleaning instrument, I'm kicking it out of the airlock.
Yeah.
Any luck bringing the iconoclast to the bargaining table? I don't like the idea that they'll be trying for that module while we delay.
Чакай сега. Ето ти ревюто.
I can't promise anything, but let's see what we have here. Well, it seems like she's actually very qualified.
Супер.
If it weren't for her, I'd wager the iconoclast would have died off a while ago.
I wasn't expecting to say this, but if you can put her in charge and convince her to agree to a meeting, I'd be willing to discuss terms.
Чудесно. Very well. Така. Отиваме сега да говорим с нея.
Is it true that manta queens devour their mates after copulation?
Yeah, well, sort of. They kill them, but they leave the body till their swarm hatches and eats it. The first meal is their father.
Makes one appreciative he wasn't born a mantisaur.
Slimy man like you might fit in just fine.
Айде, ма така. Правя бизнес тук. Гледай сега какво ще ти пусна.
Damn it, Captain. Thought you and I were starting to see eye to eye.
Ай, прескак нещата.
This is a tough decision. I won't act without you, but we're out of time.
Добре.
Once you give us that targeting module,
Мисля, че мога директно да говоря
you make up your mind?
за това, но явно, айде.
Okay. Deep breaths. This is what's best, Sora.
Значи май първо трябва да го пукаме него. Много детал малко ми се изгубил.
Captain, you must be back with the access codes to our new ship.
Graham, we need to talk.
We have work to do. This isn't the time for one of our spats. What?
I'm sorry,
Zora.
but Zora's taking
We're
over.
running the iconoclast into the ground, and I don't believe it'll get better after we take Stellar Bay. The troops take orders from me already.
Сега ще се пром поне да го убеда
as far as you can down the eternal path.
напусне.
It's time to step down.
The troops. Listen to you. This isn't an army. They aren't soldiers. They're believers. Followers. They pick up a gun because you tell them to, not because they want to. And you, Captain, after all you've done for me, for us, you throw behind this mutinous blasphemer?
Sorry, баце. You're about to take over a planet. You can handle that responsibility. Като проме с горното не успяваме да го разберем, затова ще проме с това.
I can and shall. All I've done for my people. And look at where that path has led me. I built this movement from the ground up. I've brought freedom to Monarch, and all these years later, we're still free.
I joined because I believed that you were in it for the iconoclasts. That you wanted nothing more than to bring freedom to Halcyon. That you were selfless. But I know the truth now, Graham. I know what happened in Amber Heights. You didn't start this movement because you wanted to save us. You wanted to save yourself.
No.
You don't seek enlightenment, you just feel guilty.
Guilty? I didn't mean for them to die. I'm not a monster. Of course I feel fucking guilty. I've spent years atoning for my sins. I've studied, meditated, taught. I built the iconoclast so that any man could cast away his past for a fresh start.
That's your answer, Graham? You needed a fresh start? After all those innocent lives? I'm sorry. I believed in you once. I did. But it's over. Stand down.
I won't.
Жалко.
What happened back then
Ма
was a
няма да успеем да
mistake,
го
and
убедим.
the colony has moved on. This is my movement. These are my people. If you want to lead them, you'll have to kill me.
This isn't necessary. Все пак да се опитаме, но
Don't
най-вероятно
make me
няма
do
да
this,
успея.
Graham.
If this is where my path ends, I accept it. But as long as I draw breath, I will not abandon them.
So be it.
Everyone all right?
That's how we fucking do it.
Сега говорим с нея.
Well, Captain, here we are. Killed a lot of people in the name of the iconoclasts, and it never feels right. But this time it's especially wrong. You've got the... Void help me. I'll never remember what that thing is called. The device from the ship. Do you have it?
Имам го. Ма слушай сега. Hold on. I was thinking, you and Sanjar could join forces.
I've thought about it, but I think we're too far gone. Pulling Carlotta's support was crossing a line.
Така, Хайде да плеснеме Persuasion. Sanjar has corporate resources. Sanjar has corporate resources. You could use to spread the message.
You know, Captain, I never thought about that. Maybe he could be taught the eternal truth. Spread the message from within the corporations. All right. If he's willing to talk, I'll give him a chance.
I've already spoken to him. He's agreed to meet.
Well then. I've got to prepare a few just-in-case measures. But when you're ready, let's meet at the old OSI church outside Stellar Bay.
Добре. Екстра. Отиваме на там. Още малко и ще приключваме с епизода. Презаредиме. Да сме в бойна готовност.
Hold on to your hats, children. This ride is about to get ugly.
You'll get used to it. Give it 10 or 15 years.
Всичко на макс. Едно quick сейвче.
Hey, thanks for coming.
I wish I'd had more time to prepare a proper analysis on the costs and benefits of your proposed union, but I suppose we'll have to improvise.
That's the spirit.
Gotta admit, I really thought I was walking into a trap here. I'm ready.
If it were, I wouldn't be standing here all vulnerable like.
Sanjar, Stellar Bay's got food and walls. And my people need both. If you'll have us, we're willing to share the space.
Do you have any idea what that would cost? Why, drawing up the budget alone is going to take weeks.
Давайте. Така. What if the iconoclast just support your supply lines?
Not good enough. I need to move a fair amount of my people into the city. We need shelter, Captain.
I'm not saying live outside. Just help out in the wilderness once in a while.
Suppose some of our healthier folk could offer aid. Some of us need to stay in the city proper, though.
I don't see why that couldn't be accommodated.
Truly, a compromise? I'm not sure I'd ever have heard as much from Graham.
Graham was a murderous fiend, and I'd be shocked if you didn't already know that.
Something tells me Sanjar didn't know.
This feels like one of those times when everyone at headquarters but me is laughing at something, but you two aren't laughing.
Amber Heights, you haulhead. 10 years ago, Graham had all those people killed.
What? That's not possible. Even for him, that's going too far.
Is it? We found a Is it? We found a correspondence between him and the pirates.
But that means I had no idea, I swear. Look, we were both fed up with corporate leadership, but I never guessed he'd do something like that.
I buy it. Sanjar ain't capable of hurting a sprat, even from a distance.
You can't take bureaucrats at their word. You back someone into a corner like this, and they'll say anything to get out of it.
Take it back, take it back a notch, Zora. You're here for your people, not the past.
Okay. You're right. Sorry. It'll take me a while to get over losing Graham.
You know, I felt the same way years ago, when he first left. There was something magnetic about him that let you ignore the things you didn't want to see. But surely you know what that's like.
Yeah, I do. Okay, if you're willing to house and supply some of us, I'll have our more capable soldiers help out.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm hopeful about this alliance.
As am I. Oh, I can feel my blood pressure lowering already.
Thanks for coming out, Sanjar. Guess I'll see you at Stellar Bay.
We've changed the course of the future, Captain. You helped steer it toward the better.
Чудесно. И тук мисля, че някъде започва следващия епизод. Затова мога да ви пожелая всичко най-хубаво. Чао, чао и до нови срещи.